Hi guys, Rachel with Spunky Misfit Girl here, and I have one last little project for the Masquerade Journal, and I'm so pleased with how this came out. It's a specimen card, but with a cute little Venetian carnival mask in there. So let's make one of these. This is, I did this all by hand, no template. And it's pretty simple and straightforward and easy. I probably will trim a little bit more of that little guy there. I've got some white showing. But it's super fun and pretty easy to do. And so let's get started. So all I did was I took, this is one of my neutral backgrounds. It's single-sided because you're not going to see that back. And this is 5.5 by 2 3/4. That is my size. And all I'm gonna do is fold this guy in half. And I just figured this out by eye, okay? And I actually did it, it's not totally even. This is the square that I cut out of mine, and it is 2 by not quite 2. That's what is 1, 2, 3, 5/8. So, you know, that wasn't even exactly a square. So what we're gonna do with this, I'll just show you what I did here. And I just basically went from the top about 1/2 inch, and I wanted, my original prototype was too short, so this is actually, or too small to fit the guys in the middle. So this is just 3. So I went here and here on the top. And literally I just kind of eyeballed this when I was doing this. And then we did 1/2 inch. And if you want to do this a little more precisely and make it even everywhere, you can absolutely do that. But I think it came out really pretty nicely without needing to do that. So all I did was actually give these some light lines that I'm going to then erase. And probably this would be better if I had something that would allow me to actually square. See, that's a lot more uneven on this one. So I'm gonna try to get that. I think my 2 side lines are fine, but I'm gonna try to get this a little more straight against my my top so that it's not completely crazy. I think that's a little better. Yeah. Okay, because I don't want to cut those. I just am going to cut in that middle square. And so this guy is pretty slanted as well. So let's judge that guy as well against this. We're going to go like that. Okay, that's better. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and my ruler and cut that guy out. I was just really, really careful because I can't see my edges to just kind of cut inside. And not, so that I wouldn't go too far. I'm actually inside my lines, which is okay. Just want to make sure that I'm not gonna make it too small, especially on the width. And these fussy cuts that I'm using, the masks for the inside, are from my porch prints. And I just printed them out smaller. So I just erase my lines. Clean that up. There, I think that turned out really nice. That might actually be even better than my last one. This guy's a little crooked on the side, but that's okay. I could actually probably fix that. I did cut too far here. That's unfortunate. But I don't think anyone will notice. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. We will actually try to see if I can fix this. I'm actually gonna eyeball it. I'm not even gonna use the ruler because I think that will be better. I'm gonna give it just a little cut there and come down here a little bit more. And that maybe gives me a little bit of a straighter edge and makes that cut a little bit less obvious where it's too extra. And then I'm gonna go on the inside, give myself some ink in there too, just to give that a nice dusting. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is just round our corners. That gives us that look. We actually probably should have done that before inking, but that's okay. We'll just ink our corners. Make sure that these guys are held together nicely. This comes together so nicely and so quickly. Okay, so you're gonna need some acetate for your middle, for your guy in here. Let's see if this guy's probably a little too tall. It might work, but I think we're gonna go with this, another one like this, because I know that'll fit. So I'm gonna give that some ink around the edges. So I actually did 2, so these would be a little bit, I was actually considering originally doing acetate on both sides, which I could do with this one too, right? Like remove the white from there, but I actually like it like this, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead but you could do that. I deliberately did these both sided. I cut 2 and put a second one on the back, glued it on the back, so that if this were clear, this back were clear, and I were just doing it between sheets of acetate, you would see both sides would have the mask. And so I'm just gonna cut this guy off right about here. And then right about here. And that should be good. And this, I just save packaging materials when I get stuff that has plastic like this. I just save it. So when I do projects like this, I don't have to buy anything like that. And so then we're just gonna glue around the outside of our little guy here, and we're gonna slide the acetate in there and glue closed. Awesome. And then I think these final little touches actually really make it look awesome. I did a little bit of just stamping with my grid stamp from Album Love Handmade, which I love, and I think it kind of really adds a little something. And then my Tim Holtz guys here, of course, really bring this all together with some numbers. And some other random kind of stuff. Okay, and then the last thing to do, I think I am gonna do filed on this one too, just because I just love how that looks. I think it makes it feel like a little museum archive or a science lab. And then the last thing is our corners, and I'm just gonna mark, just eyeballing where I want these. Kind of trying to follow my marks so I'm pretty consistent. And then I'm going to, I think I'll just use my awl. I used the crocodile the last time, but let's see actually, because these are mini brads that I used. So you can do either eyelets or mini brads will work. With the eyelets, you'd want to punch probably with a, you'd need to punch with a hole punch like a crocodile. But I think with these mini brads, it's fine to just use the awl because they're little. And we're just going to slide them through. And these are from Hobby Lobby. It's the only place I've been able to find these tiny, tiny brads. If you know of somewhere else to get them, do let me know. I would love to hear about it because I do use these quite a bit. And it is a little frustrating to get them only from Hobby Lobby. And they do have kind of subtle color differences in some of them. This is a little more gold tone versus the browns, which I'm looking for. So I'm just matching up 4 of those, and I'm gonna stick those through their holes. And then, oh, I almost forgot. There's one last piece to do, and that is our little notches, indentations. Got my filed a little bit down too low on this one, but that's okay. Okay, awesome. Looking good. So all I did with these little notches was eyeball them. Honestly, just kind of drew little lines, and I probably should have done this before I stamped. It would have been easier. But then I kind of just where it looks good, you know? And then I kind of on the other side tried to follow so that it would be basically even with those. But again, I'm just using my eyes. I didn't measure. You could measure. I'm gonna lose my number. I'm gonna have to restamp that on the other side, I think. And then I just used my little tiny scissors to cut these out. My good ones are not here, which is unfortunate. I have to try to use these, but just to cut these out of here. Okay. I definitely should have done that before stamping. So if you're following along and you haven't stamped yet, do this first. It's okay, it still looks pretty cool. I totally just made this up. I was looking for a template and I was like, I felt like a template would make this easier, but it actually was pretty easy just to make it up and eyeball it. And I think it came out really, really cool. That's a little too deep, but and then I just gave these some more ink. And that's that. Awesome. Specimen slides with masquerade masks. Don't you love it? They're so cute. Thank you guys so much for joining me and crafting along with me and watching these videos. Please, if you're enjoying them and making the projects and everything, don't forget to hit like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video.